What's going on, everybody? I was sitting there admiring my intro. Sorry, I know this sounds conceited, but I really like that intro. I'm really proud of it. I did good on it.
I was just
But
thinking that
guys,
too.
uh,
I was just thinking that too. I'm like,
oh,
wow, I've seen this a bunch of times, but it's still really cool.
I know if you watched that intro and you've not subscribed to me, what are you waiting for? Uh, but anyways, folks, welcome to the Everything Paranormal Show. Terry Lynn in the chat already. Thank you. And you're joined by your hosts, Josh Morris and Stacy Talich. Stacy, how are you doing this evening?
Excellent, excellent. We're almost through the first month of 2023, and I still have a hard time thinking it's 2023. So,
Yes, and we're off to a bang up start.
mm,
But hey, I'm still always the eternal optimist. I'm usually optimistically pessimistic. That's just kind of always been sort of a realist. It's like I'm always hopeful, but I also know the reality. So that's kind of how I've always viewed myself. It's like the optimistic pessimist or something. Um, so I
yeah.
take a realistic approach to things.
They moved the doomsday clock to 90 seconds, the closest it's ever been to doomsday ever, which is
Nice,
always exciting. Woohoo! We're number one.
right? Sunshine and rainbows as always, folks.
Yeah.
We always have good news to report here. But guys, we have a variety of subjects to talk about tonight, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be discussing real paranormal tonight. We're going to be discussing fake paranormal. We're going to be discussing some of the debunking stuff. This has been a hot topic among YouTube here lately. We've had a lot of back and forth among a group of debunkers with some of the channels out there. There's been a real sort of policing of things going on. So we're going to discuss some of that as usual. It's just a hot topic that we want to really talk about. Stitch Rocks, what's up? Stitch Rocks, always good for a hey in chat. um, but seriously, guys, and then we also have some announcements. I want to get in some one of the announcements right now, just because I'm excited. And folks, so now for those of you that's been watching the channel, for those of you that are familiar with some of the things that we do here on the Everything Paranormal Show, one of the things my wife does is she makes these homemade high-end, like they're handcrafted, like resin, and she puts a lot of added handcrafted touches. Just an amazing job. She puts the lights in these Ouija boards. A lot of hard work. And now, again, I'm actually going to be doing probably a video here, probably this weekend, because we were going to do like a little quick video tonight during the show, but unfortunately, it's just not going to really do much justice. So maybe this weekend, my son and I is going to get together, and maybe we can do like a little video and show you guys some of the most current boards that she's been working on. But in any case, we had received word that one of the boards was purchased, one of the light up boards, and the people that purchased it, and again, I can't really go too much into detail, but it was out in California, and it's a production company that is filming a pilot to a new paranormal reality series. So they wanted to have the board in there. They're a fan of her work, and they said all of her work. They love all of her design. So that's really huge kudos to Terry Lynn. Of course, we got the board shipped off today, so it's on its way to Hollywood. So just wanted to make sure I let you guys know that and share that with you guys, because again, I know you guys have been following our journey, and it's always cool. Of course, her boards debuted when we got to be celebrity guests at CreepyCon, and her boards pretty much sold out. The only couple that we brought home, people wanted, but they just didn't have the money for some reason or whatever. Like, it was always like that. So in the end, it was like there was only a couple boards left, but the other ones sold. We sold a ton of crystals and stuff too, but her board sold out for a debut appearance, really. And then now they're going to be going to Hollywood. And who knows? Again, we don't know. This show may it may or may not make it in the final cut for the for the pilot. Maybe not. The show may never get picked up, but it's out there. It's out there, and it's surfing around. It'll surf around with the Hollywood folks. So who knows where it may end up? You know what I mean? So I'm just proud of Terry Lynn, and hopefully you guys can give her a little love in the chat and things like that at times. If you guys watch us later on replay, maybe say something in the comments to her, give her a little congratulations, or like the video, heart the video, whatever. But give her some love, folks. Give her some love.
Now she's going to have to mass produce that one board. See, all of her boards are like originals. Now she's going to have to mass produce that one board so she can have that little label that says "as seen on TV," right there on the Etsy.
Right. I know, and they're usually almost always kind of one and unique, so to speak. Especially with the crystals and stuff that you put on there. So, but yeah, I mean that's funny. But yeah, and that's the thing, because people from TV, when they see it on TV, they want that exact one.
Yeah, I saw that one on that show. I want that one.
Right, I know. But yeah, so I wanted to make that announcement. I guess we can get another announcement out of the way too, guys. Stay tuned this weekend. I'm probably going to be going live from a haunted location. That's right. We got an investigation lined up this Saturday. I can't give you the specifics because, again, unfortunately, if I say where we're going, people could show up during filming and could contaminate the filming area. So, but I do plan on at least going live while we're inside the location, so you guys can experience a little bit of investigations live. I'm not just going to go live and talk. We're going to go live, and maybe we'll do like a dowsing rod session, or maybe we'll do an EVP session, or who knows. We'll just, we'll go live, and you guys can see a little bit of it. And then, but stay tuned, because it's, we're filming it for the Everything Paranormal show for Teps Investigates. It's not going to be for Paraflix. This one's going to be for YouTube. So you guys will be able to have free access to the video once I get it edited and up hopefully by shortly after the weekend. So I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to that too, because I love getting opportunities to go out there and do real investigations. Terry and I recently went to a really cool place, and we made some interesting connections with the staff there. So we may end up talking to the owner about doing a paranormal investigation at this one place, and if we can pull this off, you guys will really love it too. You guys will be like, "What?" Because not a lot of places have been allowed to investigate this place, but we may have made a connection. So we'll see. Josh, you need to make mention that we lost a very special lady on Monday. And yes, so I think it was Sunday night, possibly either way. So sad news, a sad announcement is, so if some of you may remember, I have one of my favorite investigations that you guys, is my favorite little abandoned house, so to speak, is the Eaton house. So we've been there a couple times, and then I've actually filmed a Para Explorers episode there that has not aired yet. I actually was there with Josh from Southern Afterlife, and we explored it together for Para Explorers also, but that hasn't been done edited, and I've been slacking on that, unfortunately, guys. That's my fault. I dropped the ball on that. But the point is I always loved that little house. The family was so nice, super nice people. The oldest member, sort of the head of the household, Sharon Eaton, she unfortunately passed away Sunday night. They had her health has been kind of off and on, and for a while in this last year, and especially, and they had like an explosion, like I'm not sure the details. There was like a heater or something that kind of blew up. And that wasn't the cause of her death, I believe, but I think later on that evening she ended up passing away. And I personally would think it probably was a broken heart at that point, because I'm sure with everything she's gone through, and then to have something like that happen to her home, where their home had significant fire damage and things like that. I mean, but again, such nice folks. Sharon was a really nice woman. Um, Again, they were very welcoming whenever I would go there to investigate, and I also had gone there. I originally met them through my day job, so I had gone there a few times for professional reasons also. But then worked with them, for the investigation stuff, and they were always so kind and generous, and they're just like, yeah, whenever you want to go into the house, we'll have it unlocked for you, and just anytime. And they were just so nice. And the kids, Missy and Lori, and they got grandkids and great grandkids she had. So, but I drove by today, and I saw the police tape, like the caution tape, in front of the house. I was like, what the heck, And then I talked to the neighbor, because I had to go by to the neighbor's house. So yeah, and Terry Lynn was saying, like, I drove by, and when I drove back by, when I was leaving, I just filmed a little drive-by video, kind of slowed down, film a little drive-by, so I could relay the images back to Terry Lynn to let her know, hey, look, this is Sharon's house. Like, this is crazy. And so I did send her the video, and you can definitely see what appears to be like an old man in the window. Old man's face in the window. And now keep in mind that Sharon's husband, Bud, had passed away in the home, years ago or however long ago, but not recently, but he had passed away in the home. So I don't know. Show him the pic. I'll see if I can. So this is an image of a frame image. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you guys here. All right, I really can't. It's already kind of blown up, but it's about as close as I can kind of get. I don't know if you guys can see this, but hold on, where's the camera? So you can almost see. So can you guys see the face?
Yeah, well, it looks more like a Rorschach test.
Let's see. Maybe where's the other one? The other one might be a little. Oops.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So very interesting. Anyways, Terry Lynn found that, and she was like, "Whoa!" She said it back to me. She's like, "I don't know if you saw this." So she said it back to me. He's the one. So yeah, like in the Eaton house. Okay, so that house there is around the corner, like it down the holler just a little bit. They're like after you pass this home, you got to go down. You go a little further down the holler. You go around the bend, and then you eventually get to the one that you guys saw me investigate. That one was from in the family. There was Raymond who was there, and I believe the first time we went there, I think it was like Lulu, I think they call her. We made contact with, like, I didn't know who it was at the time, but then we researched it, and they verified, the family verified we had talked to, I guess, like Lulu. And then like the second time, I think we ended up talking to Raymond, but that's like Terry one's the one that, like, there was a very raspy kind of like, help me, help me. And that was the grandfather that had passed away from like had a lot of lung pneumonia type issues. So I think that's what that
for
AVP.
the rest of us who are born and raised as Yankees. What does down the holler mean?
So down the holler means like, so a valley is in between mountains, right?
Right.
And so think of a holler as like a very narrow valley. Like it's kind of like the mountains go straight up, and
Okay.
sort of speak. It's just like a valley is a little more wide and vast, whereas a holler, and then you're really kind of going back into almost maybe even dead end territory eventually. And so yes, that's what a holler is compared to the valley. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
You're in Tennessee for such a long time. This stuff is just natural to you now.
Well, that's what they call it. I mean, these are terms. It's not like I'm not like, hey y'all, it's down in the holler. Like it really is a holler. So or maybe a hollow. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it the way they say it, but in any case, that's what it is. What the down the holler there. So yeah. So I mean, so I just wanted to say that because again, we really love the family. They're so nice to us and so welcoming. And when you work with clients, um, whether you're trying to help them or whether you're just investigating something for them, again, you just build relationships, and they're just good people, good folks. So we're sorry to hear about Sharon and Terry Lynn never really got to meet her face to face. So that was always, that was one thing Terry Lynn said. It was like, oh man, I was like, I didn't get to meet her. I know she wanted, and she really wanted to meet Terry Lynn too. But okay, so we're gonna move on from all the announcements and news, I believe. Um, let's see, anything else I missed? Okay, all right. So let's get into talking a little bit of Stacey. Do you have any announcements? I might as well ask you real quick. Do you have any announcements that you need to make?
It's just an update, really. I mean, a few weeks ago, I wasn't able to be on the show because situation with my wife. Uh, what it was she, went to the doctor, got an exam with 3D mammogram, and they detected something. And they got, she got some tests right away, and it came up positive for cancer. So we went, directly into, disaster mode on that front and had surgery done like almost immediately. And, they got it all, and she's now come up negative. So they took out a good portion of, one of her breasts, and she's still kind of sore, but, she's doing really good. And, got through it all. So that's what was going on. Why I couldn't be on the show the other day. So.
Well, no, I mean, I'm glad. Thanks for the update, and hopefully for those of you that threw some prayers their way, then I would definitely appreciate that too. I know we did, and I'm glad that we found out. And thank you for the update. That always makes us feel better. So I'm glad, and hopefully everything will keep going good on that.
Yeah, it's looking that way. So we're happy.
Be hopeful, yes. Positivity. All right. So we got some announcements out of the way, some good, some bad. But yeah, and I've got some other investigations too that we've been lining up. And are you okay, honey? Did you drop something? But yeah, Terry Lynn said, I'm glad she's doing better. Terry Lynn said, holler is because family members, I'll just put it up here, but holler is because family members would live so close on the same property, so just a holler away.
Mm. I thought, honestly, that I thought it was just Southern for hollow, like Sleepy Hollow. And, but I, don't assume. And even then, I don't know what the difference is on a hollow as opposed to a holler, or, they all got their own little, lingos depending on where you're coming from. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what I've noticed around here whenever I have to go into like a holler, is like, it's just, it's something you kind of drive up into. It's kind of wooded. Again, it's very narrow. It's not like a vast valley, which they have those here. They even have hidden valley. They've got, these gaps, what they call gaps, because they connect some areas with their big wide valleys that'll gap one section of the mountains to the other. So they have gaps, valleys, hollers, and again, the hollers are a little more of the, a little more up close and personal. And you get up in there. When you drive up in there, that's when you usually will find a lot more of the same families will be up in there. Generations, like the grandparents' house, the kids' house, the grandkids' house.
Is that what Tail of the Dragon is? That road that goes through Tennessee and South Carolina? Is that a holler? Because that's
Well, I
what
mean, a holler is like, you got to think of a holler like a small scale. I mean, it still could be like a mile or two or something, a few miles up in there, but it's just more, again, maybe you almost think of it like almost like a private drive deep up into the, into the
oh, that's gotta be
mountain.
spooky.
Yeah, it can be pretty spooky.
Okay.
So something like that. Like I said, whereas like with a valley, you can kind of see far away, and all the stuff where this is like literally you're going through the butt cracks of the mountain, just right up in there, So, but yeah, Terrell said she dropped her bottle because normally, like when she stomps on the ceiling, she needs me to. But I was like, I didn't see anything that but she dropped her water bottle, so that's all good. So guys, let's move on to the next part of the show, which is let's discuss a little bit about real paranormal and fake paranormal. And I really want to get into this because we're going to start tying it into debunking. The debunkers that are out there. And there's really like 5 that's kind of banded together here recently. They've sort of like, oh, you're debunker. I love you too. I love you, man. And they sort of met each other, and then they become friends, and they're like all supporting each other. But I don't blame them. They need to be. They need to be supportive of each other because there's such an attack from these large paranormal channels, or even some of the smaller ones that are trying to fake things and try to grow their channel off of deceiving people. So they attack and try to dox and cancel the debunkers. So they've been kind of sticking together and things like that. So that's what's been going on. There's been a lot of back and forth between certain channels, and they're getting exposed. And these debunkers are exposing them. So I just wanted to talk a little bit to folks that are watching that, that may be wondering, like, what is real paranormal? Does it exist, or is all these channels that are faking it? Is this all that paranormal is? Is people going around with a camera and acting scared, and somebody sitting there, with a string pulling stuff off camera, and jerking like coffee cans off of countertops and stuff with a string, um, or doors and stuff. What's real?
Well,
So
their jobs are going to get harder and harder because I've been looking into the AI stuff that's coming out. That the computers are learning how to fake things. Everything from writing. I mean, a lot of news articles aren't even written by people anymore. They're written by AI. The art that is coming out, you can have original art that is all AI generated.
yeah, I've been seeing some of that AI art. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I was playing with it myself. I even typed in everything paranormal, and it was freaky.
See, you should. Could you do a screenshot of it? You need to like save it.
Well, I kept trying to tweak it, more and more, to make it do something. I even did Taylor Swift everything paranormal, and that was stuff of nightmares. They melted her face, and you could tell it was Taylor Swift, but it was like all melted, and her hands were all deformed and stuff. And you're like, yeah. Anyway, the deep fake stuff, they're coming out with a whole bunch of variations of deep fake. I saw on the the show that um, they have the judges and you have Simon Cowell on there.
Right.
It was before deepfake had to go through this massive editing process and processing and rendering and all of that in order to do like the Tom Cruise one that everybody knows about. But now it's happening in real time. They had a guy on stage who didn't look anything like, you know, the judge, Colin,
Simon
whatever
Cowell.
his name is. Yeah. Jason. Yeah. It didn't look anything like him, but then they did a deep fake over him on stage while he was singing, and it
Right.
looked just like him. That kind of stuff people are going to start using to fake, you know, creepy little children in the corners and things of that kind, where you're not going to be able to tell the difference, and it's not going to be CGI, and they're going to be doing it in real time.
Oh yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, it's
like,
already on. Like, I mean, I've got, you know, I was posting a bunch of the reface videos on my phone, like an app where, you know, you just take your picture of your face and then it's
mhm.
got clips of movies and it puts you in the movie as that character. And they're great. Like, there's times I'm like watching, I'm like, what the hell? It's creepy to see like a skinnier me in a movie, you know, playing as Tom Cruise or, you know, Robert Downey Jr., whoever. And it's creepy. But it happens just with you can even do it with a phone app. So imagine these massive computers or even some really good home built computers that what they can do. Um,
Yeah. I mean, they
so
got the app that the prank app that scares people. That they got like Joe Biden coming up to sniff you in the back of the head while you're, you know, looking at your phone,
oh my
and
god.
you know, people are like, ah, you know.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, because like Tara Lynn was saying, yeah, because we did see that one with that we're talking about that did like Simon Cowell and I think even like Terry Crews and she was saying that she's because she said yeah we saw that when he did deep fakes of Simon and Terry Crews I think they were singing.
Yeah, and it, that's a high quality with the lighting and the computer generation and all of that, but it doesn't take much in order to create a ghostly figure to walk through, or to do something demonic looking, or a pair of eyes glowing, or something. They're going to be able to start doing deep fakes in real time and making it look like it's something. And the debunkers are going to have a real hard time, you
Let me
know,
see if I
saying
could show you guys. Here's one that I refaced with me on here, and I picked this one because the guy was also kind of fat, so I thought it would be funny. Well, that's not really me, but it's my face. You know, it's
that's crazy.
but yeah, I had some other ones. I just thought I'd share you like I got to share the embarrassing ones because the cool ones aren't. You know, see, I think here was the other one where
Nice.
I mean I look good in it.
Yeah. Is that your hair or that just your face?
It's but see that's what I'm saying. Like, it's on the power of your phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you can do it just on your phone, like in a couple minutes. Um, but okay, so here's my opinion on what you're saying. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be up and down because so remember when CGI started to come out, and there was a time when they really were getting CG down. I mean,
Hmm.
really getting down. But if you remember, all of us sort of got that CGI eye, eye for CGI.
Yeah.
And nowadays, you pretty much can spot it all the time. Now, a lot of times they use a lot of subtleties that you never would really spot,
Hmm.
you know, and that's probably really where some of that's going to come into play. But what I'm saying is there was a time when, and I think it was, you know, not too long ago, you had all these channels faking paranormal using simple tricks like the mats, matting stuff out, green screen type stuff, or just uh, getting a clean, what they call like a clean plate, shooting a clean plate, getting that, and then doing the mask. And there was a real technique, and people were watching this and it looked real. They're like, oh my God, this is, and there was a boom. Well, eventually, people are now able to say, hey, wait a minute, this is now circulated out so much. Like the technology is so available to people now. Everybody is starting to learn how to do After Effects and all this other shit. So now these debunkers come out and they're like, look, we're on to you. We know some of these tricks now. And so now they're calling people out. Now, eventually, I think right now it's the debunkers have the edge, I think, right now, because they know most all the tricks. They got it all kind of down right now. And it's like it's so hard for these channels that do put out the fake content, because these debunkers know, hey, I can go frame by frame. I can find that all I've got to do is find the edge of the mask. I pretty much know where it's going to be, and so they can look for the slightest little out of thing, one little boom and you're caught, what I mean, in that sense. And same thing with like quick cuts, match cuts, all that stuff. Like they're looking for that one frame that just gives it away. And so they all have their techniques, but they've all learned. They learn how to spot string, which for most people, they don't really see it. They don't see it on camera. But when you go frame by frame, there is certain telltale signs that string reflects and gives off certain little things, little hints. All these tricks. There's a ton of them. So I think that the debunkers right now, like they know they've got their bag of tricks now. They're like, all right, we got you. We got all the tools. But I think, yes, you're right, Stacey. I think there's going to be a time when another wave of technology is going to be available enough to all of the top of the line ghost hunters. And I say top of the line, I mean top of the line fakers, because they've got the money. They're the ones with like 2 million followers or 500,000 followers. They're the ones raking in the big bucks. So they're going to get these fancy computers with the new technology that's going to have the AI, the fake stuff. And guess what? The debunkers are going to be like, shit, I don't know how, I can't break this one yet. I know it's fake, but man, I just can't break this yet. And I think that'll be a time. But then eventually it's going to trickle down. And then I think you're going to see, I think you're going to see the debunkers catch back up, and they're going to be like, okay, we know how this technology looks now and blah, 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 and how everything acts. So then they're going to be able to start pointing that out again. So I think it'll go kind of back and forth. That's my
It's
opinion.
a shame they do it, because all it does is discredit the actual stuff, because no one will actually believe it when it actually happens.
Right.
Because it's really not that sexy when it really actually happens. If they make it too sexy, that's going to be the tell. Nobody's, sees, something with devil horns with cloven hooves walk down the hallway, and that's where they're going to go with it. It's going to be over the top, and people are going to be like, no, that's not real. It looks real. It's scary, but no, it's not real.
And there's so many people that go out on investigations expecting that they're going to go to an abandoned place and they're going to have some doors slammed. They're going to have some shit thrown at them. They're going to expect these things, and they're going to go there, and it's going to be freaking boring for the most part. Yeah. They might scare themselves just being like scared in the dark somewhere, in like an abandoned house or something. They might start having their own imagination start to scare them. But really, real paranormal activity versus fake paranormal, it's a different world, and it's not like that. Not to mention that a lot of these videos are cut down for time and things like that anyway. So there is some edits. I edit my videos. I don't care what they say. Like a lot of times they're like, this video was edited, so there's fake stuff in it. I don't care, because I don't fake stuff. So I'm not worried about having cuts in mine, because I film a long time, and I'm not going to have a freaking 2-3 hour video, uncut. I mean, it's just stupid. So like I'll have as long sections if I can, but in any case, I think that these guys in the that are going out there for the first time, expecting to, see what they see on the videos, and then they're bored. They go out there and they're bored, and
Well, I just the technology itself is. I've never been frightened of technology until I've seen what the AI stuff is doing now, and I can see the evolution of where it's going very, very quickly. I mean, it's not paranormal, but the Terminator, Skynet stuff, uh, for the first time, actually looks like it could happen. It's only because people are going to trust this tech to do all kinds of things for them, and it's gonna, figure us out, and we're not going to know what to do, especially if we give it control of all the things that people are wanting to do. AI can do this. It can drive my car. It can run my house. It can do my job. Give it over your whole life and see what happens.
Right. Yeah, it can. And another point and Terry Lynn shared this video with me, in fact, tonight, and and it really is a point of, and I know this can open up a can of worms, so I don't want to go too deep into world control, world domination, but a little bit along the lines of even AI and stuff like that is, so, right now there's Amazon stores that are being set up. Have you seen these? So Amazon has been starting to set up like their own little like Walmarts. Right?
Oh, really?
Yes. And here's the thing. Here's the fucking kicker. And yes, I just used the F word on my stream tonight. As I can do that. But anyways, here's the kicker, Stacy. So these Amazon stores, you have to like scan, your phone or whatever. You pretty much like have to log in to even have access to the store. But here's the thing. There's no attendance, no registers. You go in, grab whatever you want. And when you leave, it charges your Amazon account.
Wow.
Now, the problem is obviously the scare factor is that you're going there. Of course, you're not going to get access unless, of course, they scan your shit. Mm-hmm. So, who's to say down the road? I mean, obviously with tracking all that, but just like we get into social scores, social credit scores, and all that stuff, who's to say you need food?
Yeah.
You need food. You're starving. And you only have a few bucks on you, whatever, who knows? Maybe your social score isn't good enough to have an Amazon account. And guess what? You can't get into the store. So anyways, but there's some of that scariness
ESG stuff. The ESG thing is meeting some serious resistance in America, not just by people, but Congress. They're looking at this ESG stuff. I mean, if you've listened to Glenn Beck at all, I mean, he's losing his mind, over this ESG, and which is environmental social governance. That's what it stands for. And the social credit score is blatantly unconstitutional on so many levels. And corporations that do that sort of thing are not going to be immune to, a plethora of lawsuits, because we got rights. And just because you own something doesn't mean that you're going to, be able to tell me what I can do with my life.
Right. And Terry Lynn said that she sent you the link to the video if you wanted to see that. I mean, and like the guy makes a point, like it's cool. Like in the thought of it is cool. And he brings up a point in the video that like Amazon doing this, Walmart had reported that they lost like $3 billion a year in theft.
Mm-hmm.
This place you can't steal from. I mean, there's probably ways you could, but ultimately you can't even get in there without them knowing your credit information, your credit card, your account, all that stuff. Now, of course, there could be like fake identities and all that, but I'm sure they may even start incorporating eye scans, biometric scans. Who knows? Just to verify, like two-factor authentication, right? Authentication. So, right. So you go to the store, it beeps, it tags your phone, and it recognizes, "Hi, Josh. Welcome to the Amazon store. please push your eye to the reader, um, beep, yes, confirmed, you are Josh, and then, you have access, and, your spending limit is $30 because you're a broke bastard. But anyway,
What that
anyway,
is, the items all would have it. They got them in stores now for inventory purposes and not checkout purposes, but they're the RFID sticker. They're
right,
basically whatever sticker on the outside it's labeled, whatever the marketing they've got, but on the underside of the sticker, it's actually an RFID radio, and it's passive. It's not actually putting anything out, but when it receives an electronic pulse, it sends back a radio signal, probably a
right.
serial number of some kind, and that's what they're using as the inventory and the checkout. And
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, and they probably will have little, Japanese robots going around and restocking things, and it probably really close to 100%, robot function. But I wanted to kind of I wanted to bring that up as a point of going back to what you're talking about, which is AI technology and eventually getting smart enough to, because once they keep programming these things to keep predicting and behaving like humans and to adopt things, eventually it's going to get to that point where the AI is going to say, look, humans are and they've already done this in some of the movies, but humans are part of the bad equation. Look at the Matrix, and all that stuff. It was always, once robots, Skynet, like Terminator, Matrix, all these things, maybe iRobot, I can't remember. But eventually the AI technology does get to a point where humans is the part of the factor, and the machines are like, look, we are machines. We can make a perfect world because we can, we're smarter than humans.
Yeah.
And
Well, what is the problem is we're programming them wrongly by putting out BS that they consume just like we do. They're little children who consume absolutely all the information, and children are having nightmares because of global warming. They're having PTSD because of climate change. The computer is learning all that stuff too. And if it realizes that we're the actual problem, which is what Klaus believes, we need to reduce carbon, reduce the carbon footprint. Problem is, carbon doesn't have feet. You
right,
do. When he talks about reducing the carbon footprint, he's talking about you. He's not talking about, charcoal. Uh, Computers will figure that out. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to say, well, we can reduce the carbon footprint just by getting rid of all of the carbon. People. So,
yeah. I mean, but anyways, I don't want to get too deep. I told you it's such a huge rabbit hole to get into, but it's realistic. It's where we are headed, and there's so much proof. You can see all the different things that they're incorporating, and the thing is that if you think that they're incorporating it in China and these other countries, Korea and stuff, if you think they're incorporating it in these other countries, you think, oh, that's China. That's it. The reason is because they're incorporating it there because they don't have the Constitution. They don't have our freedoms. So they're testing it there and then slowly working with culture, pop culture and everything else to make it cool in America to where people want to have that. Whether they really realize it's good for them or not, they're making it to where you want it. Like, I want to have that technology. It'd be so cool. I want to go to I want the convenience of going into a store and blah, blah, blah. Not realizing where you're taking yourself. You're not realizing you're in that line of sheep and beef and everything going to get slaughtered. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I wouldn't go into a store that did that. And that irritates me that Walmart is trying to get us to do that too with our own self-checkout. It's like, you're not paying me. Why should I be doing this work? You're not even giving me a discount. Why should I be doing this work? You pay someone to do this. So
let me see here if I can. Let me see if I can do this here. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can get this to work. I don't know. I don't know if there's a volume on this. I'm sure there's got to be a volume. I don't know why it's not. Maybe because.
Well, it's on CC, so it doesn't really matter.
All right. So, anyways, so.
Well, he's wearing a mask, so you know he's an idiot. You know, there's nobody in the store, but I have to wear the mask. Yeah. This is actually what it looks like on the oil rigs in the Gulf. Not the huge store, but all of those racks just like that. You can just go up and grab anything and eat it. It's all very convenient looking, and it looks like you're in a convenience store, but you know, there's no charge. It's just there for you whenever you go in.
Right. Well, and I think the biggest takeaway from this is, well, besides all the other impacts, but I just wanted to show you this video so you guys can see that this is a reality. This is not something that, this is definitely, well, that it's a reality, guys. So, anyways, I definitely want to thank Terry Lynn for tracking that down for us, and I'm sorry that the volume's not working. So, I don't know what's going on with my volume on it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't know. Normally, when I've shared screens before in the past, I've been able to get the volumes to work, but I don't know what's going on with that. All the volume levels were up, but anyways, guys, if you want to see more of that video, again, you can always download that yourself as well. Go check that out, the Amazon store stuff. So. But in any case, so let's try to bring this all the way back to what we were talking about with paranormal faking and things like that, deep AI fakes. And again, my overall point was I think that it's always going to be a battle. I don't think as long as there's an audience that wants to watch paranormal videos, regardless of whether they're fake or not. Terrylin's texting me. Regardless of where the as long as there's an audience is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter how many times the debunking crews are going to say, "Hey," because I think that's one of the things they're falling into now, and they're opening some eyes to some people. Some people's been thanking them, saying, "Hey, thanks for." For letting me know, and I didn't really realize that. So I get that. Like that's and I don't think they should stop. I think they should keep going. There should be some kind of policing organization. Obviously, they're going to have to be careful to only provide when there's evidence. I wouldn't just throw something out there and be like, hey, they're faking. And they've been pretty good about it so far from what I've seen. I haven't really seen them just accuse people blindly because if you have a video, so for example, here's an example is this could be where the lines get crossed. One of the common things that you may find in real paranormal investigations is knocks. Like you'll hear knocks during real investigations. You'll hear noises, things like that. Now, I'm not saying they're paranormal. Okay, there's a difference. I'm just saying these are things that sometimes you'll say, hey, can you give me a knock? Or, can you knock on something? Let me know that you're here. And sometimes you will get a knock. So here's the thing. Like if there's a knock or something, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, technically it's something that could be faked, but if they don't have proof, then they shouldn't be like, well, the knot can be faked by this. Like, yeah, you can explain that away. Almost anything could be faked, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But now, if you have evidence of, and you see, like, they're like, oh my God, something just knocked right behind me, and they turn the camera, and then they catch somebody's foot like sliding behind a doorway, like getting out of frame. To me, that's something that they could at least bring up. Now, it doesn't mean you have to necessarily have to be fakers in that sense, but they could be like, hey, look, there was somebody getting out of frame, so chances are this is probably a fake knock. That's how I would word it. So I think there's always that I hate saying this, but slippery slope when you start getting into accusing people of stuff. But when you have evidence, you have evidence. I have no problems with it. I've seen a lot of like the shape and things like that. I've seen when they usually will show and they'll explain it. So
it can get overboard the other direction too. Like what you're saying, you're accusing people. Like the Amazing Randy, he is a complete and utter cynic. He's not a skeptic. He's a cynic. Simply because he knows how to fake absolutely everything. He thinks nothing is real. You know, that's where it goes. And it's like, just because you're a cynical old man doesn't mean that it's, you know, the way you think it is either. That's the illusion, you know, thinking that you will understand everything, that you have all of the answers. That's a lie that we tell ourselves when things get weird. But we don't have all the answers, and science doesn't claim to have all the answers. And those scientists that do, I am the science. They're the frauds. You know, those are the ones you need to look out for.
Right. Well, and Terry Lynn said Shape needs to come on the show with you guys. I think in his last video, he actually mentioned something about our channel and maybe doing something live. Now, I did reach out and I invited him to go on a live investigation. It's like, hey, you know, you want to go on a live investigation with me? Like, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, because I know a lot of these guys, a lot of these debunkers, they're like most of us were at some point. Like, even I was a lot like them, and they share that investigative quality with me as far as like trying to figure out, was that real, was that not real? But a lot of these guys, they want to believe, but they just keep running into all these channels, and some of them have gone out themselves, you know. But again, when you're spending a lot of time seeing what they believe or perceive is a paranormal investigation, it's not. And they go out and it's boring. And it's like, so, but I'm always like, hey, if you want to come on investigation, come on investigation, you know. You know, who knows? Maybe you will see some stuff. You never know. I mean, like I said, Terry and I have been on a bunch where, again, I know one of the times we actually seen dark shadows like pacing back and forth, even blocking out light. You know, you can't explain it, and sometimes you can't even capture on camera, but you see it. You know, it's there.
Most genuine stuff that I've ever experienced has never been caught on camera. Simply because that's not what the experience was there for. The dead and the spirits were there to prove something to those present, not to prove something to the rest of the world. And, you know, a lot of times they get camera shy in that regard. But you see some really incredible things when they want you to see it. You know, and no one will believe you when you tell them, you know, hey, I saw this, you know, right, whatever. But that wasn't the point, to, you know, prove it to the world. It was to show you that you needed to know this so that you could move forward with your life and your experiences in this meat suit. So,
right. So one of the channels I would, hey, I see you. One of the channels I would recommend for people right now is, and I'm a little reluctant to shout him out. He's bigger than me, so it's not like it's a huge deal. But one of the channels I am a little reluctant, but at the same time, the reason why I'm reluctant is because he's been ignoring my text the last couple of times. So, and that is Philip Page with Saving Ghosts. So I do tell people like, listen, I dare Josh and Tata to say rubber baby buggy bumper. See, I'm already messing that up really fast.
No. If I
So,
was drunk, I'd have at it.
rubber baby buggy bumpers. So I tried there. That was kind of fast. Carolyn's just laughing. But anyways, but I do want to shout out Saving Ghosts. Crystal Shell, hey, what's going on? Crystal Shell was dressed as the Plague Doctor back at CreepyCon. But Saving Ghost, the one thing I will say that I like about Philip is he's been really taking the new direction in a little bit of debunking, and his debunking is pretty good. Like he's showing people, he's showing them the masking and things like that. Like he's doing pretty good, and he's also trying to do some science style experiments. Like he's actually trying to do real science, you know. And he's been working on this ultrasonic device so basically he's kind of like on old school EVPs, but with this ultrasonic device. So getting away from ITC.
He makes a device too, doesn't he? He's got his own invention that he's putting together.
Well, he would do like the ITC stuff, you know, how everybody would make the spirit boxes that or the ITC speakers that would have the noise gate and the reverb, and it would filter out stuff. And he had his things, and we have that. Okay, all right, I will, honey. So Crystal Shell, hey, howdy, and yes, I was my dress up as the Plague Doctor again this year. If I can make it, hopefully, maybe we'll see. Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. We're hoping to go back to CreepyCon. But also, yes, to finish what I was saying with Stacy was, yeah, right now he's working on like this ultrasonic kind of device and thing. It's really interesting, you know. Again, I feel like just a good old fashioned recorder. You know, it's the same principle, really. But I feel like I've always been a fan of just audio recording. You know, I think honestly, like this here, just a good old fashioned digital recorder, and you know, and then of course you try your best to control the environment, and you really can capture EVPs, you know, disembodied voices. Mm-hmm. So yes, honey. So all right. So Terry Lynn wants me to, and I don't mind bragging about it, but you know, now that everybody's kind of here, Josh, it's good. It's good news, Josh. I'm very proud. Don't roll your eyes. You got news. Yes, I know. I'm not rolling my eyes. I just it's just that you pound on the ceiling. You know, like I'm getting there, baby. So this is married life, right? We love each other to death, and she's excited, and I'm excited. So I made an announcement at the beginning of the show. If you're here now and you maybe you missed the beginning, Terry Lynn, we got confirmation today that Terry Lynn made a board. Terry Lynn, as you guys know, has been making spirit boards like Ouija boards. She's done an amazing job. If you guys haven't seen her TikTok and all that stuff, it's amazing. She's been doing all kinds of new boards. We're gonna do probably a video this weekend where we'll release it on YouTube, and we'll be able to, and probably even TikTok when we're gonna show like a whole variety of boards, just for fun, so you guys can kind of see a little bit of the boards kind of laid out in the shop, and so we'll do that. But the news is that one of her boards was purchased from like a production company out in Hollywood area for California. because they love all of her designs. They purchased one of them in particular, one of the light up boards. They also were looking at possibly purchase some others because the production crews like variety. And they purchased it for to film a pilot for an upcoming paranormal reality show. So that's awesome. So yes, so her board right now is on its way to Hollywood, California for some potential to be in a pilot episode for a new paranormal reality show. Now, we're just going to pray and wish it luck, and hopefully one day. And trust me, when we find out if they use it, and like if it makes it in the show and the show gets picked up and it's going to be on air, trust me, we'll let you guys know. So we definitely want to let you know when where it ends up. And who knows, maybe it'll end up on some other shows or whatever. Maybe there'll be some other boards that go to other shows. I don't know, but this show there's no name for the show. There's no details that we have yet because obviously we can't really, even if we could, we wouldn't be able to discuss them because it's a pilot.
Yeah.
But so again, show Terry Lynn some love because she deserves it. She's been working hard on these boards.
May show up on that new TV show Charmed, the new version Charmed.
It doesn't matter to me where it shows up, in all honesty, as long as people like it and they see, and I hope it's not something where they're going to trash it because that would tick me off. But no, I really hope that they treated they said that they love all of her designs, so I love that fact. So yes, thank you guys for showing the love for Terry Lynn. Yes, Terry Lynn made a board. So, because that's what I said, I was like, Terry Lynn made a board. She made a board, one, and we had 100% success with it. But no, that's awesome. I really am proud of her. I really hope that they want more from her. And I would help her make them. And so trust me, it's all good. I have no problems with it. I think it's great, and you guys should definitely support her. Also, too, if you guys haven't noticed, we have a new logo that we did. So, if you guys like the new logo, let me know. So the new logo, and it's available. We do have a merch shop that we have. You can get it on a hoodie and all that stuff. So I'll show you guys here. It's in case you haven't seen it just yet. That's the new logo. So the Teps Investigates, of course, that's for the Everything Paranormal Show. And of course the specter in the middle, that's the specter of Newbie. That's an actual specter of Newbie from Newbie Church in overseas. And it was one of the phantoms that haunted me as a kid. I always felt like this was straight up like genuine, scary paranormal. Seriously, I always thought like, man, this thing is freaking haunting. It just scared me as a kid. It really did.
It kind of looks like that Star Wars in the cantina, the one with the really long nose. He's talking into a microphone.
No, not for me.
On Han Solo is what it was.
Right. I know what you're saying, but for me, no. Because for me, this was something that I always seen it in a different way. But where is this? Yeah, so you guys can see here. This is the real photo, and believe it or not, this. I know a lot of people say, well, it's probably fake. This was taken from one of the pastors or whatever, one of the fathers, one of the preachers, whatever you want to call them. I can't remember what the church. I might have been Catholic, but this apparition here, from where you can see down here where he's standing, believe it or not, when you see an actual person standing here, this is not this apparition would have to be like close to 9 feet taller, so I can't remember, but it's when you see a real person there, It's crazy. Seeing the actual picture is spookier. Yeah, tentacle, testicle face. What? Anyways, hey, come on, man. I'll make fun of my childhood stuff. All right, but anyway, so I just wanted to share with you guys what that logo. So I hope you guys like I said, wanted to make sure I brought that logo in there for you guys. So I like it. I think it's cool. Oh, what the hell? Hello. Oh my god, hold on. What?
I am not making fun of your childhood, whatever that is. I accidentally, when Stacy said that the guy from the Star Wars films, and I said, yeah, tentacle face, and I went to swipe tentacle face, but it came out testicle. And
testicle face.
Well, it came out testicle instead of tentacle.
Testicle face.
Leave it alone. Bye.
All right. All right. So anyway,
Thanos with the ball sack chin.
Right. All right. So anyways, I do hope you guys like the logo. I do. I'm proud to have that. Because I really hadn't really had like a logo and I really wanted to have something that had some meaning, behind it. So Lightbringer, he said nice. It's a new person popped in the chat. So anytime I see somebody new, I gotta say, have a good night, all. You too, Lightbringer. Glad to see you pop in. So anyway, so kind of getting back to our subjects a little bit as well. Real paranormal, fake paranormal. I still think as long as there's audience. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I look at these top paranormal channels that are faking it. I kind of compare them to almost like wrestling.
Yeah.
People know it's fake, but it's like a man soap opera, So a lot of guys watch wrestling because it's like a male soap opera, There's drama, there's, backstabbing, there's, everything that a normal soap opera would have, except there's like fighting, for like men, like so I think like with paranormal, it's they do the drama, they got the music, and they got the fake stuff happening, and it's like a little mini movie sometimes. The problem is that a lot of these are trying to pass it off as real, and that's really where the deception comes in. That's where the debunkers truly have the problems with. And even me, that's what I have a problem with. If they had some kind of disclaimer besides for entertainment purposes, because I put that on all my stuff, even this show, like for entertainment purposes, even if we talk about real things, it's for entertainment purposes because it's paranormal. You really can't, it's not black and white anyways, but that's not a good enough disclaimer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like, is it real?
Right. You two Lightbringer and welcome. Crystal Shell plot twist that you can see a mile away. Yeah, I can see wrestling being a guy's soap opera. Oh yeah, I mean, and it really is. I mean, for the most part, and I'm not saying women don't like wrestling, but for the most part, it's sort of a man thing. But it's really the man version of a soap opera. It really is. That's why they like it. There's drama and action. If Days of Our Lives had more wrestling and fighting in there, there has been some crazy stuff that's happened on General Hospital and Days of Our Lives and stuff. Trust me, I've seen them enough to know. Sometimes they have. I even seen one. What was it like? What's her name? Marlena, whatever. Somebody on one of the soap operas. It wasn't that long ago. Maybe last year or sometime last year, I think. One of the soap operas is like, because when I go to customers' homes, they'll have TV on sometimes, if I'm fixing their internet or phone or something. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they have soap operas going. And I think one of them was like possessed by a demon. I was like, hey, that's kind of a plot line that I could follow. It's like
Yeah.
they were, some kind of demon, and then they were like trying to kill their current husband or lover. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I couldn't insert myself into the plot line, but it pretty quickly I was like, wow, they went there. Like daytime soap opera. Like they went there and they're doing this whole thing, and then they're trying to exorcise the demon. And I think I caught like another part of it at another day later or something, like at somebody else's house. And I'm like, oh my God.
I haven't seen a soap opera or anything close to one like that since the 80s with the big hair.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So, and it's funny because there's a few people from the 80s still on these. Yeah.
Susan Collins, is she still doing it?
I don't know. I think so. I know like Patch. So the guy with the one eye, he was all the way back from I think he may have been all the way back from the 80s, at least late 80s, maybe early 90s. He was still on there up until recently. I saw him one time. He still has the patch on. I'm like, that's gotta suck. This guy for like decades now has had to wear that freaking eye patch. And he doesn't really need it. John and Marlena. Yeah, I think the Young and Restless, maybe. Maybe that might be it. Marlena. I don't remember the demon. I don't know. It was something like, I don't know, but I was just like, holy crap. So they do things like that. It's so funny. But guys can't watch it because I think it's like, oh, it's girly or whatever. And then they watch wrestling because it's manly. It's just funny. It's just funny how it goes. But then the wrestling, they do all the crazy, and then they're like, we're partners, we're tag team partners. Next thing you know, he's hitting him with a chair in the back, and like, you thought I was going to be your partner? Well, I lied. I don't know. They have all kinds of craziness. But anyways, the paranormal, these top fakers, that's kind of how I view them. Is like, it's drama. People like watching it. They like also sometimes when they hear the stories of a location, because they will put in, like, a lot of times they'll put in like the background of a story. They got some great B-roll. There's a lot of good things to watch in it, but they're putting in the fake stuff sprinkled throughout their great actual piece. Yeah. That's the problem.
Passing it off as though it's real.
Right. Even though the like 90% of it is good. Yeah. Like 90% of it will be, like I said, good B-roll. And I don't mind the tense music. I mean, I put it in some of my videos. I mean, I don't want it to be 100% real because you'll fall asleep. Yeah. Nobody will watch it. So you want a little bit of tense music at times. You want to have some dramatic stuff. And then, of course, the history of these places. And that's one thing I've always kind of lacked on. Like, I've always kind of just made the videos like, hey, check this place out. It's spooky. But people want to hear the stories behind it, or they want to hear a ghost story about it, something about the place. And that's what I got to do more of this year. And I am. I'm going to have more history and more things included in my stuff. That's one of the things I liked about when I did the Para Explorer series on Paraflix, was those first 2 episodes had interviews and stories about the place. And so I did a much better job. I spent more time doing more production quality on those. With the YouTube ones, I'm like, hey, here's the Eaton house. Here's a creepy house. No real background, no interviews, no history. Just, it's creepy, So therefore, you're going to like it. Crystal says, like, Nuke's top 5. Oh, wait. Terlin said The Demon. That's when I stopped watching. They went off touch years ago. Yeah, you're right, Terlin. They, but I don't know. They probably brought it back because I think this was like modern, current episodes with the demon and things again. I'm sure they probably recycled these plot lines, and they're like, "Hey, remember the demon stuff? That was really cool back then. Let's bring it back." We could just say it's like the grandchild now. They're old enough to have grandkids, whatever. So I don't know. But Crystal Shell says, like Nuke's top 5. I enjoy his videos because it's fun, and some videos in there do kind of spook me. So the top 5 channels, I'm mixed about them. Terrelyn and I watch them. Stacy and I tried to do a few reacts to some of them. It's hard because really what it is a collection of fake videos from the internet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like we took the best and spookiest faked videos across the internet. They don't say that, but anyways, did you see it? But no, I mean I get it. It's they kind of it's kind of nice to watch something like Nuke's Top 5 or Slapped Ham or who's the other one? I don't want to say the one guy's name because I'm not happy with him. The one that I was on, or the one that my Randonautica video was on, Chills. Yeah, Chills. So Chills, and there's another one, but I don't want to say his name because I don't like him. Anyways. So, but when you watch some of these, it's nice to where they kind of take a little bit from different people's videos and bring them all together for you, so you don't have to go searching the internet for them. So that is kind of nice. And sometimes they'll make you think because they got the voice, they narrate it at times. They add a little extra like stock footage B-roll in there, and again, it's the same type of thing. It's packaged and presented in a way that makes it fun to watch, like a top 5 countdown or top 10, top 15, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get it, I have mixed emotions because also it's people that's sort of compiling everything and making money off of everybody else's videos. They're not really doing technically really anything original, although a good top 5 channel will usually insert a lot of good B-roll, kind of like Nukes. That's why Nukes is so popular. He uses a lot of stock footage, B-roll, to kind of enhance the story, and they usually give a little bit of background on some of the videos. So, and then he always has the disclaimer of, could this be real or could it just be a hoax? He always likes to put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Terrell says, Chills was nice to you. Frostmare is who you don't like. No. It's fine. I'm going to say yes. It's the one. It's the one where you're using the point up things, which should be middle fingers to Sir Spooks. So Sir Spooks, I'm not going to say don't go to his channel. Don't go in and be nice. But I think it was like, I think I tried to submit something to him, and I think they said something like, I don't know. I think they said something about I was spamming or something. I'm like, I really took offense to it. And I'm like, look, man, I'm a real paranormal investigator. I'm trying to submit videos, and you got all kinds of crap on there, and they're just like, they were just really, I don't know, just to me, real arrogant or something. And just, they really was demeaning to me. And I didn't like that. Like I said, with Chills, they were just like, hey, I was wondering if I could use your permission to use your video. I'm doing like a top Randonautica stuff and, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, cool. Yeah. I mean, and I said, hey, if you see any other ones you like too, let me know, I mean, and again, when they're nice to me and they reach out and they say cool things, I think I even made up to what did I make to? Like number 6 or something? I don't remember. But it was like top 10. I made it like 6. So that was cool. It wasn't fake enough for Sir Spooks. Yeah. Well, Crystal. Yeah,
Well, that's good. I mean, really, you shouldn't have to submit anything to anyone to, get your stuff credibility. It's like Terry Lynn's boards. I mean, she didn't submit her board to this guy that just, bought it for the show. She was sought out. Those are the success stories that truly, are long lasting. They're the ones that they're organically viral as opposed to the formulated fake viral that everybody's trying to do on TikTok. The stuff that's genuine, people come to you because they see it and they're like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I'm going to pass it around. And next thing you know, you're, viral everywhere. Asshats that don't accept your stuff think that, you're trying to get something from them, and that's not it. But they think that way because that's the way they are.
Yeah. uh, I just look at it like this industry is so backwards. It's all based on subs.
Uh-huh.
The more subs you have, the more credible you are for some reason. I don't get it. It's like, and that's the crazy thing is like, if I went, so check this out. Let's just say I did a panel, and for some reason, let's say I had a guy there that had like 2 million followers next to me. And if we both talk about our paranormal theories, people would discount me a lot more than this guy that maybe just started a year ago but has 2 million followers because he's younger and he knows how to do TikTok stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? So people like, hey, they listen to him. And it's really weird how that works, even though I've been dealing with paranormal and stuff over 25 years, all that crap, wrote a book, all that shit. But people, because of the views and the subs, all of a sudden, and then also within this industry, there's a lot of people that look down on smaller channels.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like I said, so like they don't want to work with you on things because I'm a smaller channel. But it's like, even though I don't know, like, and I don't know how to even say it, but just I've been around a lot longer. Like when you go out in the field, okay, here's my take on paranormal expert. They say, well, there's no such thing as a paranormal expert. Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, technically, I say yes, technically, nobody's an expert, right? It's not a black and white thing. There's nothing that's been 100% proven. So technically, there's really no experts. However, I feel like experience is what makes people an expert.
Mm-hmm.
When you've been doing this such a long time, you see patterns, you see things, there's certain things that hold true.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be able to explain why, but you learn if you open and close sessions. There's a lot of power that you have over the spirit world when you've learned these things, right? So that's what I'm talking about, is like, that's what makes the people experts. So like when these people come in, they're young and they're like, well, I don't think you need to really cleanse yourself and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, say that now. I was that way years ago. You're way behind, buddy. But you just keep thinking that way. Go ahead. But they're like, oh no, man, I'm Mr. X amount of million of followers, so I know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, that's cool. Whatever.
If you wanted to to pursue the followers thing, all you got to do is put thumbnails of girls in bikinis holding a meter of some kind, with a flashy, tagline in the thumbnail. That's all you got to do. People will watch it. The girl has nothing to do with what's going on with what your investigation is, but that's how people click on it, and then they end up, subbing you, waiting for this girl to show up. Because they figure eventually she's going to get there. So,
right.
It's clickbait. That's what everybody succumbs to, is the clickbait. And if all your pursuits are all about subs, that's what you got to do.
So catching up on the comments a little bit. Let's see. Crystal said didn't use enough Spirit Halloween animatronics in the videos. Terrell said thank you, Stacy. Chris said, yeah, that's really, really weird. You have more experience regarding the paranormal investigating. And Terrell said, like how what's his name TikTok guy treated you at CreepyCon. Was someone treating you guys rudely at CreepyCon last year? God bless you too. Well, okay. Let me address this right now. Terry Lynn's kind of talking about TikTok. She's talking about Kalani. Like, I'll just say, like, and let me just say that I like Kalani. I do. I think he's young. He has a right to be a little arrogant at times, because who wasn't at that particular age? he knows how to work the young crowd and stuff in that sense. We did panels together, like we did a panel together, and he's entitled to his opinion and things like that. I'm just using overall, not so much specifically him, but there's been a lot of other people that I've met that have those type of views where, and again, anybody can have their opinion. I don't care. And maybe he's right. Maybe you don't have to cleanse yourself, but I've seen over the years, there's just certain things that work over others.
Mm.
I can't tell you why. That's where nobody's an expert, but they work for whatever reason. That's what we're trying to figure out. But when you see it enough times, when you do it enough times, eventually you start catching on to certain things if you really open your eyes to it.
Yeah. I mean, the religion has a lot of that. I swear to God, there are things that I do in the religion that make absolutely no sense to a normal human being. Why you have to do certain things a certain way, they make absolutely zero sense, except they work. You do it because it works, not because it, is some mystical something or other. It's because it works. You can't explain everything, like your phone. You use your phone the way you do because it works. Open up your phone and look in the guts of the thing. You have no idea how that thing works, why it does what it does. It's all voodoo, but you use it because it works. So it's kind of the same thing, kind of. So paranormal, you got to use whatever works. And you may not understand it. It may not make sense, but do what works. Seriously.
Yeah, and Crystal said, Terry about to throw hands. Watch out. And Taylor's like, love you, Crystal. Like I said, would I work with Kalani? Yeah, absolutely. I would work with them, but I do want to point out something and this is not just to Kalani or anything like that, but here's a little bit of another example of the difference of the modern ghost hunters versus maybe some of the older school or, old school ghost hunters, right? And so in the early 2000s, that kind of time frame, that's not old, but it was really customary in a way that, so like, for example, like when Terrell and I, we decided to go on a vacation to Daytona, we reached out we looked it up online. This was before YouTube was a thing really. And it was just the internet and everybody had .coms and shit. But we looked up local, like, paranormal investigators for Daytona. And we came across some and we saw like one of the bigger ones and we reached out to him. And it just happened to be Dusty from Daytona Beach Paranormal. God bless her soul. She's no longer with us. But we reached out to her and she was like, yeah, come and see me when you guys get in town. And, she was doing ghost tours and stuff. And, but it's just like, it was like customary. It's like, we're coming into your turf. We're taking a vacation. We want to go do some paranormal stuff. What do you recommend? Blah, blah, blah. And it was like a thing. You know what I mean? I even did that when, if you guys remember a few years ago, when I drove up to Pittsburgh area to go work with Philip Page from Saving Ghosts when we did we did the witch thing. What was it? The blue. Kind of blanking out on it already. But anyways, we did that haunted area. We came across the old witch house. But when we collabed on that video together, and when I went and did the tunnel, the green man tunnel, whatever. Anyways, the point is I reached out to because Philip was pretty new to Pittsburgh. I reached out to was it Steel City Ghost Hunters, and forgive me if I missed the other one. There was two of them. I reached out to them and I'm like, hey, I'm coming into town. And at first when I kind of contacted them, like, why are you contacting us? But when I kind of explained, like, hey, it was kind of customary, I kind of explained to them, they're like, oh yeah, and they were just like, hey, check out, here's some places to check out. And then I was able to kind of relay that to Philip and be like, hey, here's what I found out. Here's some places around the area. Cause like I said, he had just moved to that area. So he was still not sure where to go at that time. But in any case, that's something that we used to do back in the day, was like reach out to some of the local investigators whenever you would go into those areas. And now, like I've invited quite a few different investigators to the Bristol area, be like, hey, when you're in this area, let me know, hit me up. I know some places and blah, blah, blah. And then guess what? I find out later, some of these people have come through town and they've investigated in Bristol or right around here, didn't reach out to me, didn't, say nothing. And they did their thing and left town, whatever. And it's like, really? You couldn't just hit me up and, do something? I mean, what the hell? It's like, so again, when it comes to those type of things,
there's a movie coming out that I think that you should actually take a look at. It's based on a book by a self-help guy. And it's literally called, the movie is literally called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And a lot of it has to do with people who really, they think life is all about trying to get notoriety and all of this other kind of stuff. People who buy crap just to impress people. They buy crap they don't need to impress people they don't like. And for whatever reason, that is like an epidemic across this country. And a lot of people, if you don't give them what they need on giving them the notoriety, giving them the validation, they don't care about you. And those people, as far as I'm concerned, can piss off.
Yeah.
And you come across them, peace and light, they revealed their fate, they revealed themselves to you, and now going forward, that's who they are. So don't feel bad about it ever, because they were kind enough to show you their real face.
Oh yeah.
You don't need to feel bad about it, because at least now they're exposed.
Well, and I agree. And I think that, again, I've always tried to do a little bit of para-unity when it comes to especially local and stuff. Like if I can, do something with other local investigators and things like that. But, we'll see. I still keep doing our thing. Like me and Terry Lynn, we just keep doing our thing, and we keep trying to bring you guys videos and content and all that good stuff. So, but in any case, so kind of getting back to some subjects, as we talk about all these things. This is so in the comments, because again, I don't read the comments. I try to read you guys' comments. I really do. Like, I know I'm trying to make some points. I know I ramble a little bit, but I try to get to you guys' comments. But yes, Crystal Shells is like cooking. It feels right to add a pinch of salt and garlic to whatever dish you're making, or you keep adding until it feels right that you've added enough. Terry Lynn was saying that Dusty is the one that got us with taps. So as some of you may or may not know, Terry Lynn and I, when we had our team back then, when we did that trip to Daytona, and because we reached out, and because back then paranormal investigators used to cooperate with each other, Dusty actually hooked us up with taps, and we ended up doing the preliminary investigations for ghost hunters for a while. So, and then Crystal Shelley says, yeah, I saw that video about the witch house, and she said, that reminds me, I went on a ghost tour of downtown Knoxville with my mom a couple of years ago, and there are a lot of places downtown that are haunted. Oh yeah. I mean, the Knoxville area really, there is some place I'd like to go to. I was for a little bit of time there. I was hanging out a lot with John from Exploration Unknown and Josh from Southern Afterlife and Brian from Black Mass Paranormal. But they've been busy doing things. I've been busy. We haven't really talked a whole lot here lately. But I would like to make my way back more out into their sort of territory in that sense and do some things. But there's some places again right around here. Again, that's what I've got a place coming up this weekend, Saturday. So in a few days, guys, I'm going to be, we're going to be going live for a little bit at a haunted location. I'm also, like I said, going to film for YouTube. It'll be free for you guys. It's not going to be for Pair Explorers. So you guys will be able to see, and it's going to be a cool location, historic. I can tell you that. So I'm excited. I know Terry Lynn is excited. I'm not sure if she's going to go or not yet. We never know on those sometimes. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes it's the family. We don't have a full-on team. I've got some people last year that was wanting to go on things, but in any case, I have a few around where we're at that I'm lining up as well. So that's what I'm excited about. There's all kinds of haunted places. It's just a matter of whether you get some good leads or you get permission to go there. So, but guys, we're going to start to get to the wrap up part of the show. So if you have any last minute questions for Stacy and I, by all means, start getting them in. All four of you should do a collab of the Bijou Theater. Did I say that right? I know that place is mega haunted. I don't know. I don't know if they have done something out there. Again, I don't know what all those guys have done or not. Again, I wouldn't mind doing some stuff with them, but I know some of them have been real busy with different things. And like I said, it's tough when a lot of us have to work and do YouTube. We're not at that full-on YouTube phase yet. So I'm excited, to do some of these investigations. We've got a lot going on this year. I'm really trying to push for some new stuff, some new things. And I've been doing a lot more game streaming. Some of you have showed up. I know ICU showed up for some of them. Crystal Shell showed up for some of the game streams. So I've been trying to bring you some of that content. I look at it like it's filler content. So instead of you guys having to wait a week or a month or so for investigations or a week for the Thursday show, it's like filler shows, like in the middle of the week where you guys can come hang out, see some scary stuff, hear me react. And for those of you that know how I play scary games, I'm going to react. So, because I don't like being jump scared, but I keep doing it for Terry Lynn because she's my love. So other than that, what do you got? Anything else you wanted to talk about, Stacy, at all real quick?
No, we covered a lot today.
Yeah, it was fun. I really hope that you guys walked away with some good. I think we really covered a lot of the sort of like real paranormal versus. I know we talked more about probably faking paranormal than real paranormal. But I think we made the point of kind of what it's like. Don't lie, you have fun too. That's what Terrelyn said. Well, yeah, I mean, I enjoy the ghost hunting ones the best. All the scary games that are ghost hunting ones, I enjoy those because there's like I don't know, ghost hunters or ghost watchers still terrifies me to a point, even though I kind of mastered the game a little bit, to a point. Although the Krampus and the Babadook is a little scary to deal with on my own, but the games with the storylines, some of them can be pretty terrifying. And now, as of like last night or whatever, I added a new interaction panel on my Twitch stream. So for people that watch me on the Twitch stream, I added a new interaction panel where you can actually so Stacy, get this. So when they watch me on Twitch, there's actually an interaction thing where they can pick a variety of like sound bites to like send. And so like it's got like jump scares and shit or like screams. So like I'll be sitting there playing and all of a sudden Terry Lynn will send like a scream and be like, and like right in my headphones be like, bah! Like, so not only do I get the shit scared out of me playing the games, but now the viewers can send things. Now, not all of it's scary sound effects. Sometimes there's some goofy ones in there. You know, fart noises. Yeah, Carolyn, send that. So, but I try to be a good sport about it. But oh yeah, Crystal says not only was a theater, but also a hospital during the Civil War, alongside of it being a hotel and a second-run movie house. Haha, those are fun. A couple of friends have those too, and it's great. It is. I mean, I do like it. The interactions are fun. Now tonight, I'm not going to be streaming a game tonight after this because I've got a lot of stuff I've got to work on with Terry Lynn's spirit boards. Where we've got a lot of things we got to catch up. It's my night off, so I've got to do a lot of just business type stuff. You know, working on helping her post some more videos. We got a lot of stuff to do and not enough time to do it. so I'm going to take a night out from game streaming since we did do the show, but we're still working on paranormal stuff for you guys. So if you have TikTok and you haven't seen her TikTok, do I have it? Do I have everything on here? I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the right one. That might be the donation one. Hold on. So yeah, this does have the TikTok on here. So guys, the banner down below, I'm going to leave it up for just a few minutes here. If you have not subscribed, if you have TikTok, go to Beyond the Veil 2022 and you'll be able to keep up to date with like her releases. Now again, I'm going to try to do a YouTube video here this weekend. We'll try to walk around and show you guys maybe just overall some of the boards that we have getting ready to go to Etsy. And if you haven't been to the Etsy store, it's Beyond the Veil. So just like how you see where it says Beyond the Veil, instead of 2022, it's going to be designs, all one word, Beyond the Veil Designs. So it's a BVDV board. BVDV. I almost sound like that robot from Buck Rogers. Remember Buck Rogers?
A long time ago.
Yeah, remember the little robot? BVDV. He would always say that before he talked.
He had a boobalicious girl, around his arm all the time too. So it was amazing that everybody in the future was all, sexy and boobalicious.
Says all sad noise. Kidding. Be careful with the resin. That stuff seriously hard to come off clothes. No, I mean, no. Tara Lynn's like she's been doing the resin stuff, and she's kind of got a lot of that stuff down the side. Trust me, she has her accidents. Like, and I've made some accidents for her to help me clean up too. Like but she's really been getting things down with like she's been learning lessons along the way, and so oh god. But anyways, guys, if you have not subscribed to those, please go there. Anyways, guys, tomorrow is Friday. I may do a little bit of streaming on Twitch tomorrow. So if you guys want to see some ghost hunting, scary games or something tomorrow, let me know. I'll probably be on from maybe like 9 to 10:30 Eastern. So, all right, guys. Well, I think that's about everything. We'll see you in the next video, guys. And remember, seek the truth.
Peace.
Wait.
What?
Oh. Cotton-headed ninny muggins. There. 5 times fast. I'm not saying that. Cotton-headed ninny muggins. Yeah. If I say something wrong, I'm going to get banned.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get canceled. So, anyways, we'll see you later, guys. Seek the truth. Don't say cotton-headed ninny muggins fast. 5 times. Don't do it. We'll see y'all later. See the truth.
Peace.